are here at the Gallagher Convention Center for the SASDC Synergy Conference. Now, this critical and pivotal conversation would not have happened if it weren't for the gentleman we're about to speak with today, Mr. Gary Josie. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for this time with us. Please do tell us, what is the SASDC and what brings us to the convention center today?
Thank you. Firstly, thanks for the opportunity to share. The South African Supplier Diversity Council is a collective of corporates as well as a whole ecosystem of black-owned, managed and controlled businesses who all form part of this ecosystem wanting to do business with each other. So as an entity, I'm the CEO of the South African Supplier Diversity Council. We drive the mission where our overall objective is to see business transpiring between corporates in their supply chains and black businesses across the country. We do so through our 5C model. The first is that we create platforms to collaborate. The second is that we certify the credentials and validate the credibility as well as the credentials of black-owned, black-managed and black-controlled businesses. We're not a BEE verification agent, so our due diligence is what typically would be done when doing a due diligence on a supplier. And then we connect them to each other. And what we have here today is also central to the connection process. It's about creating platforms where relationships can be established, because relationships are fundamental as a basis for trust, and trust is fundamental for commercial activity to happen. The fourth C is capacitate. So amongst other things, we're also creating this platform as a mechanism for building capacity, sharing information. Very often people see capacity building as being classroom, formal, but information exchange in itself is so extremely valuable. And that is key to what we are doing. So all of our plenary sessions, our presentations, our breakaway sessions are focused on information exchange. And then the last thing, which will be happening this evening, is our awards celebration, which exemplifies our fifth C, which is that of celebrate. As an advocacy organization, it is crucial for us to promote the objectives and the goals of supplier diversity. And in doing so, we also need to celebrate success, whether it's small successes from the achievements that take place out of transactions between our suppliers themselves, or major outcomes that are achieved by contracts being awarded by corporates to millions of value. We have to celebrate success as part of advocacy. We do run different programs. The first thing is that a good indication of knowing whether you are ready to transact with corporates from a compliance perspective is to undergo our due diligence process. From there, we'll be able to share with you if there's any gaps that you need to be focusing on. The second side of it is that we run capacity building programs. We actually go out to market and we try and engage with potential funders to secure funding, whereby we are able to bring capacity building interventions back into our ecosystems. Not all black businesses are fortunate enough to be in enterprise or supply development programs with corporates. So how do we actually bring that to them is through the other work that we do. And fortunately for us, we've got a very strong relationship with the German International Development Agency, GIZ, and we've just recently kick-started a new project, Project Embrace, which will be focusing on women, youth, and how they can capitalize on the green economy and the transition of companies to the green and to green. So all of that is made possible by us not just having a focused view only on transactions, but also recognizing the fact that we need to build capacity of our ecosystem in order for them to compete. And if not just to compete, but for them to win in what they do. If we have a look at the pressing issues that our society faces, we have many people that do not have the exposure to the technology environment and new technological advancements because of issues of affordability, it also around issues of opportunity. So not just commercial opportunity, but learning opportunities. And I think we all have a responsibility to bridge that gap because issues of sustainability and the environment affects us all. If there's anything that we need to acknowledge and remind ourselves that is that we all live in one atmosphere. We all live on one Mother Earth, and the damage being done to it is a collective effort for it to be fixed. And if we want to have everybody play their role, we have to invest in getting them, invest in the knowledge gaps, invest in the technology gaps. All of the technology advancements that we are seeing now are making things easier to manage. But at the same time, we have to recognize that there are those that we've left behind. So what do we need to do to bring them along? Otherwise, all the gains that we make as individuals from a sustainability side is not going to be sustainable because we're leaving too many behind. Our big focus is going to be on Project Embrace as we roll it out. I think also at the same time, I've been focusing a lot on building stronger relationships with our government partners to look at how we can tap into the synergies that we need to create around taking our businesses global. And that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see more of our black businesses exploring global market opportunities, competing on the global scene because the supply chains that we require them to operate in are global. I think very important. Know what it is you want to achieve as an outcome. Keep yourself focused on that. Don't be shy to ask. Don't take shortcuts. Very important. All the time continue to learn, and learn. We're such a small team. It's such a lot of work.
I can imagine. It's massive.
We'd love to do it more often, at least every every second year. But time goes so quickly.
I can imagine.
And I think that's where the partnerships need to start coming in. We're all competing for resources. We'd be able to do something like this very easily every year in partnership with our event managers, with our digital partners, if we had the funding.
I hear you.
So, and in South Africa, government has too many open conferences that are free entry. And it becomes difficult for organizations like us that are non-profit to put something on like this only with sponsorship money. So that's the challenge, and that's where the hard work comes in.